This is ABC7 News at 11, your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Good evening, I'm Haley Wilkes. Thank you for joining us tonight. A heated demonstration tonight in downtown Bradenton. The protest and then a counter-protest took place at the historic courthouse over a Confederate monument outside the building. And that's where we find ABC7's Rick Adams, who has more on tonight's gathering. He was there earlier this evening. Rick.
Yeah, Haley, things have really quieted down here, but just a few hours ago, it was very loud. Hundreds of folks who are all fired up came out to the historic courthouse in Bradenton. Some of the protesters supporting the removal of the Confederate monument, while others wanting to keep it right where it is.
Does that say white supremacy on it?
No, but it's also, but it also doesn't have a plaque explaining what it is also, though. It's
you're
just
offended.
A thing.
You're the minority that's offended by that monument.
It needs to go.
No, it doesn't need to go.
Outside of some heated arguing, the Manatee County Sheriff's Office was able to keep the protest and counter-protest relatively peaceful. Groups on hand who are pushing to have the monument removed included Black Lives Matter, Indivisible Bradenton, and Answer Suncoast. One of the main groups in support of it is the America First Team Manatee Group.
Right now it presents a danger to our community. We have a rather large white nationalist group here locally, a regional group, and they're using it as a rallying point for recruiting new people.
This is a federal protected building, a historical building right here, and I don't see no reason why it shouldn't stay. It's not hurting anybody.
For Ron Piper, he too supports keeping the monument here, mainly because he says most people didn't even realize the statue existed until recently.
It's American history, and I don't like the fact that they're trying to remove American history.
I believe that history belongs to everybody, and the monuments are there. If you don't like them, pass them by. Don't look at them, don't read them, don't listen to the story.
For Black Lives Matter and other groups pushing to have this monument removed, they see things much differently.
I'm an American, but I don't feel like an American. This is my country. I was born here, raised here. Like, this is my country, and they want to uphold the Confederacy.
And this monument still remains covered in wood. County crews had covered it ahead of today's protest. Reporting live from Bradenton this evening, I'm Rick Adams. Haley, back to you.
Thank you, Rick. The Charlotte County Sheriff's Office is asking for your help in a death investigation. At least one person is dead. 2 others are recovering from injuries in what the Sheriff's Office has described as only a, quote, disturbance on 11th Avenue near Florida Street on Sunday. The Sheriff's Office has only released limited details about the incident and subsequent investigation throughout the day. Detectives say the public is not in any danger, but they're still looking for help in identifying a man who left the scene driving this maroon Mercury Grand Marquis. He's described as a taller black male, and he may be armed. President Trump just announced that he could be increasing the number of U.S. troops in Afghanistan, possibly sending thousands more into America's longest war. ABC's Lana Zach is in Washington with more.
President Trump now says he's on board with a plan that could send additional U.S. troops to Afghanistan.
I concluded that the security threats we face in Afghanistan and the broader region are immense.
Afghan forces say they need more help to fight a resurgent Taliban. And these new American troops will join more than 8,000 U.S. troops already on the ground there, part of 13,000 coalition forces.
The men and women who serve our nation in combat deserve a plan for victory.
The president did not say how many more Americans would be sent, but the Pentagon's proposal, originally unveiled in May, would add 3,000 to 4,000 troops and increase the amount of foreign aid being sent to the nation.
Afghanistan.
Before he was president, Mr. Trump opposed increasing America's commitments in Afghanistan.
Let's get with it. Get out of Afghanistan.
Getting out of Afghanistan, a position he often repeated as a private citizen, but one that was harder to maintain as commander-in-chief.
My original instinct was to pull out, and historically, I like following my instincts. But all my life, I've heard that decisions are much different when you sit behind the desk in the Oval Office.
And the president also called on India and Pakistan to step up. But one thing that the president said he would not do, give a timetable for when all U.S. troops in Afghanistan will be home. Lana Zach, ABC News, Washington.
Florida's new $85 million Job Growth Grant Fund is already pretty popular. The program started accepting proposals in mid-July. The state has already received more than 70 requests for upwards of $210 million. State legislators decided to create the fund as a compromise during the special session. This spring, the Florida House of Representatives blocked Governor Scott's request to earmark money for business incentives awarded directly by Enterprise Florida, rather than providing direct incentives to companies that expand or relocate to Florida. Money from the new fund must go toward infrastructure projects or job training.
We have spent the past month educating communities, local governments, workforce boards, state colleges, and many others about the Growth Fund. And we are excited to say that we are seeing proposals come in from every corner of the state.
Governor Scott ultimately has the authority to approve the proposals. We're learning more about the future of the Main Street Plaza, and that includes the Hollywood 20 movie theater in downtown Sarasota. Developers confirm they plan to reduce the number of theaters from 20 to 11. Those 11 cinemas will be rebuilt to include high-end reclining seats. Cutting back on the nearly half of the theaters, or actually more than half, will free up some 28,000 feet and allow developers to get creative.
By going from 20 theaters down to 11 theaters, it gives us another back pad on the back of the Hollywood 20 for more amenities for Sarasota. That could include kids' activity centers, that may be a supermarket, convenience store. So we're looking at different ideas and different concepts right now.
David Chesler and his partners Jesse Bider and Eric Baird bought the complex last year. They plan to spend $3 million on this first phase of redevelopment. And now Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan has your first alert forecast. Bob, we've had some great time looking at all the photos coming in from the eclipse.
Yeah, and this is one photo you haven't seen yet, I think, for the most part. This is actually imagery from the GOES-16 satellite, the newest one in NOAA's fleet. Now we are looking at the shadow. You can see it covering all of the United States at one point, although the clouds were around Las Vegas, quite a cloudy day as well into Iowa, and even near Nebraska, where it was expected to be full there, a full eclipse. Now you can see even actually clipping parts of Mexico and even Canada with that large shadow that you saw as the moon got in between the earth and the sun, just at the right angle there. So again, that is that particular shot, and this is a shot of what happened for us. Clear skies as a result of dry air. Dry air is in place now, but notice it's thinning out a little bit. This blue is starting to encroach on it and erode it away, so moisture will be on the increase, I think, throughout Wednesday, but more so Thursday, I should say Tuesday, but more so on Wednesday. Remnants of what was Harvey is going to get bigger, and it looks like, and could come back to a tropical storm or even a hurricane down the road in the southwest Caribbean. We'll talk more about that. A weak tropical wave now over the northern Bahamas is projected to move across the state over the next couple of days. We'll talk about that as well and what it means for our overall weather. Currently, a lot of clear skies right now, 81 degrees, and the dew point temperature is at 72. We have east winds at 9, and the pressure continues to rise. A few storms are well offshore, pushing away from the coast. We'll have more in our forecast coming up in a few minutes. Haley?
Thank you, Bob. And as we mentioned, the Great American Eclipse swept across the country this afternoon, plunging some small towns and large cities from Oregon to South Carolina into total darkness. It's been 38 years since any part of the country has seen a solar eclipse. It's been almost a century since one has been able to be seen on both the east and west coast.
It's the second most beautiful thing I've seen in my life.
It's absolutely amazing. It's so dark out of here. It looks like a sunset over there. It's amazing.
If you missed it this year, don't worry, you will have another chance in just 7 years to see the next one here in the U.S. Buffalo Creek Middle School in Palmetto had a special guest today. U.S. Senator and former astronaut Bill Nelson visited students to watch the solar eclipse. He shared his perspective on this historic event with students.
What a great opportunity to come to talk to students and tell them what's happening, and then at the same time get them to understand this is a unique event, and this just whets their appetite to learn all the more.
The students remained indoors throughout the eclipse, but they got to see a live viewing of NASA's coverage. And some people had a hard time getting a pair of safe and approved glasses to view the solar eclipse. I didn't have a pair. I was one of those people, but one Suncoast woman has been holding on to her pair for decades. Fran Temple got her glasses from her grandmother, who used them to view a solar eclipse in 1932. She says she received them when she was living as a teenager in Boston. She stored them in her nightstand, even keeping them safe as she moved, but she and her son had some trouble finding them before today's eclipse.
He said, "Do you know where they are?" And I said, "Oh, probably in one of those boxes I haven't unpacked yet." And so anyway, I said, well, maybe they're in that same drawer. I remember putting them in there, but that was so long ago. And I opened the drawer, and there it was.
She plans to keep the tradition going and pass down the glasses to her own granddaughter. That's great. Straight ahead, Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan will be back with the first alert forecast. Plus, a father and daughter outraged and demanding answers after being booted from a Frontier Airlines flight. And expect a detour if you're heading to Siesta Key over the next few weeks.
ABC7 is gearing up for the 2017 Suncoast Heart Walk on Saturday, September 9th here at Nathan Benderson Park, and we'd love for you to join us. This rewarding, family-friendly day is the American Heart Association's signature event for raising funds to help fight heart disease and stroke. Walk with us September 9th to help save lives, have fun, and help your heart. For more information, visit suncoastheartwalk.org.
We asked our customers, why is Consumer Cellular your choice in wireless?
Consumer Cellular helps me save money. It's simple and easy.
It is reliable.
I like the fact that there are no contracts.
By moving to Consumer Cellular, my cost is 50% less than it was.
They fit the plan to you.
I have everything I want with Consumer Cellular.
Their customer service is fabulous.
Customers are their #1 priority.
I really feel like they take care of me.
We're proud to have received the J.D. Power Award for highest customer service 3 times in a row.
We really appreciate the AARP discount.
AARP members get exclusive discounts.
It's easy to switch. You could use your own phone and you could use your own number.
Wild horses wouldn't drag me away from Consumer Cellular.
Go with Consumer Cellular.
You're going to save a lot of money.
Switch today. It's all backed by a 30-day risk-free guarantee. Call 1-800-368-8758. Go online or visit a Target store today.
Glasses and contacts. You need them to see, but they put such a strain on your life, you miss precious moments. Due to new advances in vision improvement technology, LASIK is now affordable for almost everyone, with procedures starting as low as $299 per eye and over 1 million procedures performed by our trusted independent surgeons. LASIK surgery is a sensible, safe, and affordable solution to improve your vision. Our simple 3-step process begins with a free evaluation, followed by an extensive preoperative exam to determine if you're a candidate for LASIK eye surgery. Depending on the results of your evaluation and eye exam, you and your surgeon will choose the LASIK option that works best for you. So call now to talk to a LASIK Vision Institute counselor and schedule your free evaluation. That's a $100 value, free. Call the LASIK Vision Institute for your free evaluation and enjoy more of your life.
Call 1-800-813-0109. 1-800-813-0109.
Check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com, your guide to the foodie lifestyle. ABC7's own Chef Judy serves up her favorite recipes, cooking tips and trends, dining blogs, step-by-step videos, and Suncoast Restaurant Guide. You'll find it all at mysuncoast.com/dining.
Pretty exciting today for
Yes,
some,
it
you know,
was.
and a little bit better if you were right there in
If
the
you were
totality.
in the totality.
Yes, I think
we
next
were
time
not.
we'll try to get there in Dallas. Maybe.
Dallas,
Sounds like a
we were
good
thinking
city,
that
yeah.
probably sounds like the most. We said that there were so many great cities you could have gone to see in the eclipse
Right.
and then made a trip out of it. You know,
Right.
Charleston, Nashville,
That's
a bunch
right,
of
a
others.
vacation,
So,
yeah, like
mhm.
Eclipse vacation.
Right,
Not just
that's-
2 minutes, but 7
There were some
days.
marketing opportunities
That's
there.
right.
Yeah.
We are looking at one of the photos I like today. This was sent in again by Kathy. And then we've had several of these photos. I couldn't get to them all, but they'll be on our website and also on our Facebook page. Get a look at this. This is under a tree, and all the different rays of sun that were coming down. We're projecting the eclipse on this particular boardwalk that you see right there. So a great shot. Appreciate that. And this one actually coming from North Carolina. Ken Pearson from Braden. A lot of people went up north into Tennessee and North Carolina, Georgia, North Georgia to check out the totality of the eclipse of 2017. Appreciate that shot right there. Just a sliver of the sun showing at that point. Casey Key webcam is showing you the sun going down now. No moon in front of it. Just some clouds occasionally, not many clouds at all. Flat, calm out there. Winds will pick up a little bit overnight. A nice sunset there. And here's a look at the satellite imagery showing clear skies today. Worked out perfectly for us. A little dry air around. We're watching the remnants of what was Harvey, and now it's starting to really flare up just before it makes its way into the Yucatan Peninsula. This is a tropical wave. There's a little bit of rotation counterclockwise that you can see right here, the satellite loop. This is going to either head over to the west, stay here, then move to the north. There's a lot of uncertainty with this right now, but the conditions will get somewhat more favorable for development about 3 days down the road. More than that, just a bit, but we had a few isolated cells pop up, and not many, along the sea breeze front near Bradenton and also near Anna Maria Island earlier. Those are have since moved off, and some moisture starting to increase on the East Coast. That's a sign of things to come here, especially on Wednesday. 81 right now, the heat index at 85. There's no cooling showers around, and the high today was warm at 93. It did cool down a couple of degrees right around the high point of our particular eclipse here. 90 degrees, the normal high, 97 the record, and 77 the morning low. We could use a little bit of rain. I think we're going to get some out of this tropical wave, especially come later this week. Hourly forecast for Tuesday, not much tomorrow though. The rain chances aren't all that high, only around 40% for a few inland locations and along the coastline. The futurecast is showing that. You'll see not much going on overnight. Tomorrow morning looks good for drop off, not a problem for the kids, and then the clouds start to increase at noon, and you'll notice the showers and storms. This particular model indicating a little bit more activity around, but we'll see some showers and a few storms, it looks like, beginning late in the afternoon and evening. Then more so, I think, as we head into Wednesday. Wednesday, a few showers out there in the Gulf, and we'll start to see some activity developing, and it could be a little bit more widespread. Well, in the tropics, this is going to be interesting to watch. The forecast models indicate it will turn back into a hurricane, or actually become a hurricane, as it makes its way into the southwest Gulf of Mexico with a little bit more of a bend to the northwest of Texas. South Texas has to keep an eye on that one. And here's the look at what's going on now. Top winds are at 30. A lot of the forecast models show that bend a little bit more toward the northwest and into Texas and staying there for the most part, but some indications are that some of the forecast intensity models suggest that it could be a Category 1, a strong one, or even a Category 2. This one is also interesting to watch. You see that little rotation there. There's not a lot of moisture right now, but that dry air is starting to thin out. And as far as where it may be going, we'll get a look at this. This is a disturbance number 2, and we put the map into motion. A majority of the models take it across the southern portion of the state, and this is Wednesday, and kind of keep it here and hang it around the west coast of Florida for a couple of days, and then some take it off to the northeast while others drop it to the south, and some take it to the west. So there's a lot of uncertainty with this. Right now, even if it were to develop, it wouldn't be a very big storm because it has to go over land. But if it gets in the Gulf, the water temperatures are 90 degrees. On top of that, conditions could become a little bit more favorable for development. So it bears watching. East winds turn to the north, 5 to 10 knots in the afternoon, so a little heavier than moderate chop out there. Tides upcoming 210 for your morning tide. And low tide will be at 7:35. Mostly fair, warm tonight, 78 for low. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, heat index up near 102 with a 93-degree temperature. 40% chance for storms tomorrow, and then that rain chance increasing, keeping an eye on the tropics on Thursday, late Wednesday through Friday. Haley?
Thank you, Bob. A father and daughter say they were kicked off of a Frontier Airlines flight, and they're demanding to know why. But the airline alleges that the move was justified. Shell Saunders reports.
A 70-year-old father and his 25-year-old daughter clearly irate as they're kicked off a Frontier plane. The duo was yelling. Passengers are clapping. They say they still don't know why they had to leave.
It was, no, do you have a problem? Do you need to be removed from this aircraft? And we responded, no, like, we don't understand what's going on. What's happening? Please tell us what's happening.
They admit they were already upset with an 8-hour delay, were complaining to each other when they say flight attendants got in their face.
It was an aggressive one. They would lean over the back of the chair in front of us, get their face right out to here, and they would simply ask, do we have a problem?
Frontier Airlines explained, telling News 6 in part, quote, the behaviors and comments exhibited by these passengers prior to departure were inappropriate, and as a result, they were asked to leave our aircraft. They say the father and daughter were cursing, disrespectful, and deemed a threat. The two ended up getting a flight refund.
You can't just treat people like that and get away with it.
A partial lockdown has been lifted at all jails in Florida. The Florida Department of Corrections announcing today that inmates can now have visitors. The department put the lockdown in place because of a security threat. They say a few small groups of inmates were trying to cause disruptions and impact safety. The department says it does not have any more temporary lockdowns planned for the near future. Some drivers can expect a short detour on Siesta Key for the next few weeks. Starting Friday, there will be a partial road closure for the westbound traffic on Shadow Lawn Way near Midnight Pass Road. All westbound traffic will be detoured to Beachway Drive, but eastbound traffic will not be affected. The detour is part of a pipeline installation for improvements being made to the Siesta Key Master Lift Station project. A Sarasota man now has a big role in the Florida Sports Foundation's board of directors. Jesse Bider was elected to chair by a unanimous vote for the 2017-2018 fiscal year. The Sports Foundation is a division of Enterprise Florida, and it's the state's leading sports promotion and development organization. Bider says the board will continue to support sporting events that generate sports-related tourism and create jobs within the state. Sports is next.
This is an important medical announcement. Bard IVC filters have been linked to punctured veins and problems with migration. Anyone who's received a Bard IVC filter must receive medical monitoring and may be entitled to substantial compensation. If you have the Bard Recovery G2 or G2 Express filter, you are in a class of patients who should be compensated for some expenses. Call now for a free assessment of your case and potential money damages. This call is confidential. There's no cost and you may be eligible. Juries have awarded millions of dollars to people who should have been warned about the risks of the Bard IVC filters. Call the IVC Filter Hotline if you or a loved one has received an IVC filter and experienced a vein puncture or required medical monitoring. You must call now.
Call 800-329-3089. 800-329-3089.
Hi, I'm Chef Bob. Watch Aprons in the Kitchen every Wednesday morning on ABC7, where we'll be serving up the most awesome dishes. Then stop by your neighborhood Publix, pick up the recipe card and all the ingredients.
Today, everyone is looking for carpeting that lasts longer. G. Fried has you covered with Karastan. With a legacy of quality and integrity, we provide you with a huge selection of Karastan carpets with exclusive lifetime limited warranties. All installed by our highly skilled, highly knowledgeable team. Come ask us why Karastan is the best and most durable. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. We promise we're more than a dealership. We're a destination with a movie theater, massage room, aquarium, cafe, and more. We promise to give you top dollar for your trade, even if you don't buy from us. And if you do, we promise you the best deal. Bring us any competitor's ad and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
This is important news for women who were administered chemotherapy intravenously for breast cancer and then suffered permanent hair loss. The chemotherapy drug Taxotere has been linked to permanent alopecia or permanent hair loss. Some women administered the breast cancer chemotherapy drug Taxotere have suffered from permanent hair loss on scalp, eyebrows, and eyelashes. The FDA has urged doctors and the manufacturer to warn women administered Taxotere of the risk of permanent hair loss. If you or a loved one were administered chemotherapy intravenously for breast cancer and suffered permanent hair loss, you may have a right to a cash award and medical expenses. If you suffered permanent hair loss after chemotherapy for breast cancer, call the law offices of Davis & Crump at the number below right now to find out if you are eligible for a cash award and medical expenses. Call the law offices of Davis & Crump right now. Our first consultation is free and we don't get paid unless you get paid. Call now. Operators are standing by.
Now, sports.
Yet again, it's Alabama atop the college football polls. The Associated Press preseason poll is out, and the Crimson Tide start the season at #1 for the third time in 5 years. After Bama, it is Ohio State, the Seminoles of Florida State at #3, then Southern Cal, and defending national champs Clemson. 3 other Florida schools making the top 25. Florida at number 17, Miami at 18, and the South Florida Bulls ranked at 19. Sarasota Scholars, the rowing team, back from the U.S. Rowing Masters Nationals in Tennessee. The team was in Oak Ridge to defend their 2016 Rowing National Championship. The Scholars did not disappoint. Laura Corbett and Karen Wygant combined to secure 5 gold national championships, 1 silver and 1 bronze. The team medaled in all of their eligible events. Way to go. Lacrosse is blowing up the charts as the country's fastest growing sport, and it has a fitting home here on the Suncoast. A local group called SRQ LAX worked to establish lacrosse as the varsity sport in Sarasota County public high schools, and now Venice High School will get boys and girls lacrosse teams in the spring. SRQ LAX, I hope I'm saying that right, started the first high school lacrosse program in Sarasota County at Riverview in 2016. It earned local and national recognition. Great to see more sports coming to the Suncoast. That's a look at sports. We'll have our lotto numbers right after this.
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice? Choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.
Is your old garage door stuck or broken? Would a new one give you a lift? Let Precision Door Overhead Garage Door Service of Sarasota come to the rescue with prompt and affordable repair service. Replacement doors come with an array of styles and colors, and they are rated to meet and exceed Florida standards. From estimates to installation, your satisfaction is our priority. If you're not 100% satisfied with any product, service, or installation, we will make it right, because Precision Door Service is a name you can trust.
Attention, Americans eligible for Medicare. Are you getting all the benefits you're entitled to? Did you know there may be money available to lower your medical prescription costs? Call Health Markets and we'll tell you if you qualify.
Hi, I'm Dr. Martin Jeetsi. It's a new Medicare year. That means more changes and more confusion. The key question is, what can you do now to ensure you get the care you need in the coming year?
Call Health Markets today. You may qualify to save money on prescriptions. We'll help you find plans that may cost less, cover more, and could even lower your prescription costs to increase your savings. We help you find all the benefits you're entitled to, and we do it at no cost.
Make sure you have what you need to get the care that's right for you.
Find out if you qualify to receive extra help with your prescriptions. Call the number on the screen now. Representatives are standing by.
Since 1972, Sleep King has provided quality mattresses and accessories at the best discounted prices available. Top brands like Simmons, Sealy, Serta, Beautyrest, iComfort, and more. With available free delivery, free financing, and free setup and removal. For a comfortable night's sleep with same-day delivery, even if we have to carry it on our backs. Trust Sleep King of Sarasota. Buy it today, sleep on it tonight.
Join the fun at the Weddings of Sarasota 17th Annual Wedding Show at the iconic Sarasota Municipal Auditorium on US 41. Sunday, August 27th from noon to 4. Enjoy food, fun, and entertainment with a runway show on stage at 3 p.m. $2,000 in Weddings of Sarasota dollars given out after the runway show. You must be present to win. Pre-register at weddingsofsarasota.com. Brides and grooms are free if registered by midnight on August 25th. Weddings of Sarasota. Register today.
ABC7, your official Florida lottery station for the Suncoast.
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice? Choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.
The Florida Lottery winning numbers are sponsored by Frontier Fios.
While it seemed like the world stopped for a few hours as the solar eclipse traveled through the U.S., it was certainly an eventful time for some families, bringing new life into the world, like this one in South Carolina, welcoming a baby just before the eclipse rolled through. The family says the baby boy is healthy, weighing in at 8 pounds, 9 ounces, 21 inches long. He was born also on his, oh, how cute is he? On his grandmother's birthday. She has passed away, but the family says this is a great memory. Also in South Carolina, one couple marked the start to their happily ever after by getting married as the moon covered the sun. Chris and Kelly met 3 years ago and bonded over their love for, guess what, science fiction and space. Chris proposed 6 weeks ago, and the couple did some quick wedding planning. They gave out eclipse tumblers and to their as their wedding gifts, I guess, as their what do you call that? Not wedding. Favors. Yeah. The ceremony finished just before the moon crossed the sun, and they watched the total eclipse before stepping away to say their personal vows in private. That's interesting. That's pretty cool. Yeah. Also, another baby was born in the morning at like 8 o'clock in the morning before the eclipse. Her parents named her Eclipse. This was in South Carolina as well. Named her Eclipse Elizabeth Eubanks. She was supposed to be named Violet, but she was born early, so they decided to name her Eclipse.
I wonder how many babies are going to be born 9 months from now, too.
I know.
You never
know.
That
total darkness, you know.